Well, I don't know what's happening, but this is what happens.
I was ready to say that's what
I don't know
happens
what's
when it's
going
live
on.
radio.
It just came in. It just came in. So I
Oh,
mean,
hey.
I don't know what happened, but we're here.
He didn't think you was ready, Monty.
I don't know what it was. I mean, my mood is real different right now. I don't know what's going on. So look, now my house phone is ringing. It's just a lot. But welcome to Talk Lately. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween to everyone on October the 31st at 7:04 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Media, beexposedradio.com. I am joined, as you can tell, by my favorite person right now, ChasReal, the Empress Lady Kick Mix of the
Oh,
You Bet.
really? I know it's Halloween. You saying I'm your favorite people. You don't even like people.
That's my costume for tonight. So, all right, so we actually do have a lot to talk about, but I am trying to figure out right now why this thing keeps freezing on us. I'm missing something for one. Let me see if this is it. Yep. That's what I was missing. So look, no, we do have a lot to talk about from of course, Donald Trump. Hold on, let me get my papers together because that pausing thing that happened in the beginning of the show was throwing me completely off. Let's go ahead and switch to the screen anyway. So we got from Donald Trump to Matthew Perry to Lizzo. My paperwork. Ron DeSantis, John Hopkins, James Channing Tatum, Zoe Kravitz, all of Trump's children. It's a lot to go through. Harley Quinn, and then it's Halloween. So I don't know if you got any plans or are out there trick-or-treating. I hope nobody knocks on my door. That's why it's completely dark in here. I'm sitting in my kitchen all the way in the back of my house with the lights off, trying to act like I'm not home. So no trick-or-treaters. I got Twix. I do got Twix, but they're for me. Those candies are mine. I'm not sharing these Twix. I got 2 packs. Well, the 2 packs of the little tiny Twix in the 12-pack little box. I got
Yeah.
2 of them, but they for me. These are my treat. The treats that go in my little lunch pack that I make for myself.
Wow.
I've never actually been the person to open my door when somebody says trick or treat. I've never been that person. I'm not. I mean, I like Halloween. I like the essence of it, but past my house, just keep going. I'm
Oh
not a
my
people.
goodness.
I don't know
Well, I
people.
loved it. Usually, I give away candies. I'll sit out on the steps versus them answering, having to answer the door.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with a bowl of candy, giving it out.
Yes, and I just rolled through Canton
Mm.
area over East Baltimore where I used to go as a child, and everyone is out. It was good to see, and that's kind of how they was doing this style. Like everyone was in front of their door. But yeah, nowadays, yeah, that's a little skeptical. People knocking on your door and coming, every now. So I definitely get that. But get them children some candy. Put the
Uh-uh.
bowl out there. Money said,
I
"Aw,
I've
it
learned
is
my
for the."
lesson. I mean, being a germaphobe already, it just no, thank you. And then knowing that most people, and I'm saying most, not some, not a little, not a minority. I'm saying most people are disgusting. And no,
True,
thank you.
true. And
How,
talking
how
about disgusting, like, can you believe some people are still putting things in the candy? So, anyone out in Halloween land tonight getting these candies for these kids, still do be careful because people are still doing treacherous things. It's insane to candy.
and that's why I can't get with it. That's why I stay away from the whole entire process. Um, because if you really want candy, just go get yourself some candy. I mean, seriously, I don't have to go panhandling to people's front doors for candy.
'Cause that's really what it is, ain't it? To get one piece.
Right, right. Go,
Trick
go in,
trick or treat,
go to
but the
one.
trick is on you because you walked all them, and you could just walk to the store and
I mean,
got
I
it.
don't have any
Yeah,
experience of anybody, of taking a piece of candy and biting into it and be a razor blade in the middle. I don't have that kind of experience. But hearing the stories of people that have, or people that have bitten into candies and they had a bit broken off piece of syringe in it, I'm out. Count me out. I'm not doing it.
yeah,
I'm not
that's a
part of that.
mess. That's a devious soul, baby.
Yes. And then you don't know who it came from because it's mixed amongst the other candies from the other houses that you visited. Just give me a roll of toilet paper, let me TP your house, and we'll be good. And I'm
Right.
good.
It's giving your greedy ass. I'm gonna fix you, but it's it's some devious that shit. Like, who sits and does that though? Like, that's crazy.
Evil people sit and do that. That's the thing. And I'm not gonna be a part. I can't, I just don't want to be a part of it. I just don't. It's just not something that I want to be a part of.
Exactly.
On the giving and the receiving end, giving out the candy or going to the people's doors and receiving the candy. I mean, I'm too big for it anyway at this point.
Right.
But
And I mean, and down
I
at
got
this
a
point,
nephew that's of age that might be out there right now doing it. But if it was my kid, he not my, he wouldn't be out
yeah,
there. Look, I can buy
that's
you
what
all
I
the kind of candy
do.
you want. We
My
can actually hit
kids,
up
we
a candy
usually are the
store.
givers, right? We usually are the givers, and I'll go to the store and buy candy, and I'm like, who needs all that candy anyway? But then also on the other hand, right? Like if you are the person giving away the candy and you're not putting anything in the candy, and then you got people like, I'm giving you this candy for free, and I got you going home checking the shit, thinking that I'm the devious type.
But it's not just you, it's everybody. Everybody has the guise of being the one that might do it. I'm not just picking out, so it's not just certain people, because most of the time and nowadays our parents are actually more cognizant of that and only go to people that they know, go to houses that they actually know the people. They're not just going to
Right,
stranger houses. So that's what's changed since we were children. When we were
right,
children, we didn't care who house we went to. We just wanted to get damn candy. It could have been
right.
Ipecac and iodine on all of the candy, and we would have never knew because we done
Not
ate
at
half the candy
all.
by the time we got home anyway.
Not at all. And I think they were doing that more so back then now. And I don't never remember checking none of my candy. I was chancing it. I was playing Russian roulette.
That's exactly what it was. Russian roulette. That's crazy. Happy Halloween. Have a
Happy
safe time.
Halloween, but better safe than sorry, guys. So just be safe out there. Some people, we have the skeptics. Some people, "Oh, I don't celebrate that. It's just look at it as an evil holiday anyway." But it's
Grow
just
up.
fun. I think it's fun. I like to see the
Grow up.
children
It's
as
time to
well
grow
as
up.
the
And
adults
people,
dressed up. Exactly. Like we know what they get. Oh, you worshiping evil and like, nah, get out of
well,
here.
first of all, who's worshiping anything? We're out here trying to have a good time and dress up and play dress up. It's not about worshiping anything. It's not anybody went to. It's not like anybody goes to church and say it's Halloween. Calm down. That's that religious bullshit that everybody wants to be in, and I have no parts of that. It's what it's really about is having a good time on a day that's created for having a good time and eating candy.
Right. And that's what I get from it. I love it. I love to see people dressed up. I love to see people being creative. Especially, I know a lot of people buy costumes, but I love to see people using their own creativity to, make them a costume and make, outfits. I like it. It's fun. Dressed up, not be yourself for a day. And it's fun. It's fun. I always
Mhm.
look at it as fun, but right. Stop that bullshit.
That's my point exactly. So, I was going somewhere with this Halloween chat though too. Oh, so today, I don't even think I need this, but I'm trying to put that in there. Um, my best friend came over today to have me help her, get her hair together for her costume. I thought I had a image, but I don't. Uh, she's going as Harley Quinn from DC Comics, the Joker's girlfriend. And I had to she came over here for me to dye half her head red and put in her ponytails. And it looks cute. I can't wait to get the pictures so I can show you guys the pictures because they're very, very cute. But that was my experience with Halloween. Otherwise, I'm going to be right in here in the dark, which is why we don't have any phones today. So you can text us at 443-642-9403. But the phone lines are not going to be working today because, like I said, I'm hiding. It's completely dark. If I go down where the phones are, somebody might see a light on and start knocking on the doors. And then they're going to get embarrassed when I come through the ring talking about, get the hell away from here.
Oh, witch.
That is what I'm giving today. Ain't no goddamn candy.
Well, I'm dressed up today. I'm a troll. I gotta send you a picture of me. And what was best friend giving? She did half red, half black. What was her what inspired her costume?
Well, I didn't see the full costume. That's why I said she only came over here to get for me to fix her hair in the two ponytails like Harley Quinn. So that's what she got. Right, I put that together for her. So I can't wait for So maybe next week when we come back on, I can show the picture. Because I know they're supposed to be doing some kind of possibly a TikTok video. So once that's all together, if we have time in next week's show, I'll show you the complete ensemble of her being Harley Quinn. I mean, they have she had lines and everything. So I think this is going to be like a nice little skit, like a full version skit of them doing a Harley Quinn thing. So I can't wait to show you guys that next week. Hopefully, she'll send me the video. I'll see it or something. It'll pop up here. If it comes up tonight, maybe I'll show it tonight, but I don't know. I don't know where they're going. So whatever they're doing, it's probably happening in the next hour because I'm sure she has to work tomorrow at 7 a.m. Anyway.
That sounds nice though. Just fun. See, I told you, sounds like fun.
Right. That's it. That's why I say this is a holiday for fun, for intrigue, for scary notions, for going to haunted houses, it's not anything about worshiping. Just because you see people dressed like the devil, no one actually knows what the devil looks like. So give it up. Even though we got this image of this red thing with horns, no one's ever seen him. So stop it. Stop it. Oh gosh. Anyway, let's move on. And I wanted to start with this one too because it's funny as hell.
So yeah, please stop it. Look, I was ready. I was on mute and didn't realize it. I was like, you surely don't know what he looked like, but I can give you a few examples because I didn't came across some devils in my lifetime.
Right, but those are the images that you created for yourself to identify evil, right? That is not something that you've known personally. That is not nothing that somebody, stood in front of you and told you that they were Satan or the devil or anything like that. These are imagery that was created by either cartoon drawers or movies and made these images real pronounced in your mind. So now we got these red devil costumes with these pitchforks and all this other kind of stuff. Well, if he was a real devil and with all the powers of that come with it, what do you need the pitchfork for?
Tell me about it.
Okay, all right, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to get with y'all tonight because I'm busy. So this first case that we have up here is Talk Lately versus Ron DeSantis and his actual height. Let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even mess. I'm trying to stop cussing so much. I don't even mess with Twitter or X, what it's called now. But just this one particular day, and I think that was probably Sunday when I talked to you, Monday into Sunday, Sunday into Monday. And I was telling Chastity that I had just finished looking at these videos of Governor Ron DeSantis down in Florida, of his stature. Let's go with that word. Because what's hilarious about it is this man clearly has a height issue. He has an issue with his own height. He doesn't like that he's short. He won't tell you that he's not short, but the proof is in his legs. So I put together
You say what now?
It's in his legs, and you're getting ready to see it right now. I put together these two videos that I've seen where it shows that his, and I'm going to say allegedly, because I don't know for sure, but allegedly he has lifts in his shoes to make him effectively 3 inches taller. So he's
You
probably
lying to me. You say 3. You say 3 inches taller.
he wants to be 6'1", 6'2", but he's probably more so 5'7", 5'8". Now look at this video. Let me show you this video. Now look where the feet bend in these shoes.
Not the heels, not the wedges.
Now watch. They're going to zoom in on this video. Look. They're zooming in. Look how you walk.
Wow.
Look at the shin to knee ratio. You see where the shoe bend? Look at him on the shoe. Look at him. Look at that shoe. Look.
Oh, he got wedges on.
Yeah. Built into his cowboy boot. Please look at it again. Just look at it. Look. Look where the shoe bends. No one's shoe bends in the middle of their feet. So he has feet envy too, because he wants his feet to be bigger. It is so comical that it's ridiculous. One more again, because I just couldn't believe it when I saw it. But I was like, that man doesn't even look like he gives the height that he's portraying. And then with his knee bends and them pants, it's even more of a warning. Look at the knee bend. Ain't nobody shins that long. Don't nobody have that long.
Oh my goodness.
And then the boots, you got on a 3-piece suit. The boots don't go with that suit. Them boots don't go. Look at this suit. Them boots do not go with this suit. I don't care where you from. If you was even from Texas, them boots don't go with that suit.
But why? What's wrong with
Look at the
being?
shoe bend. Look at the shoe bend. All your toes is broke.
Yeah, she's sitting up on a hill.
It's sad. I don't get it. Why? So like I said, he's given every bit of 5'8". But he wants to be taller in an ocean dream.
But like you said, why? What reason? Like,
Because he
or
must
he
want to
just do anything anyway. Like,
height envy. He has height envy, and it's almost like a psychosis to him. Because if you actually had all your shoes fitted to be like this, yeah, that's a psychosis. It's something wrong. And now he wants to be your president. And he can't even tell the truth about his height. What makes you think he's gonna tell the truth about you? He already don't want you reading books. Poor Ronnie.
poor thing.
I'm just gonna start calling him little guy. Oh, little guy.
The short. What's his last name? The Sansis. The shortest.
But when they put these shoes up there,
I'm falling out.
Yes, that's the same company that made them
But
shoes.
he
Made
don't have a dog, right? He don't have a doll baby front. Rounded tip. It's given pointy, pointy wedge.
like, why do they put look? And then the way he walk, you can tell the shoes don't fit because he walking like they don't fit because they not made for him. He put them lifts in there. He got high heels on inside the boot.
Well, yeah, that's definitely giving real suspect. Like, for what?
I
So
mean,
what are you
it's that
saying?
little drawing that they just showed. That little drawing. There you go. You can
That's the
tell.
outline.
Yes. Because look how high the chair is itself. The chair
And
he's
that's the
sitting on.
hill. He's sitting, yeah. He's sitting on a hill.
Yes. So look at the knee bend. All right, that's what I was talking about with the knee bend. The knee to shin to ankle ratio is impossible. No one has shins this long.
Well, Ron, the shortsness do.
Yeah, but with the help of prosthetic boots.
What? He practicing early.
Them boots are prosthetics. Look, so once I saw
I
this
wish I
picture
could talk to his shoemaker.
in my mind, I was thinking, like, what if this man actually don't have no feet?
Ooh.
What if he
Mm.
don't have feet and he has he's a double amputee from the ankle down?
Or maybe he just has nubs.
That's what I'm saying. And those are prosthetic shoes. Like he don't have feet. That would go
Oh,
with
but I guess that's why he never tell that.
or he got hooves because that would actually go to why they call him Ron the Satan
Ooh.
because he got hooves because he's actually the devil.
Is he the devil?
That is the question. I got questions, Ron, if you want to answer them. 443-642-9403 or comment.
Or his shoemaker? Ooh.
I want to
I
know
got a
them too.
question, Ron.
They got a job on their hands, and hopefully they getting paid handsomely to make them heel boots.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, he going to be calling fake news. Oh, no, he don't say fake news no more because him and Trump is on the odds.
But look at those boots, though. Can you see what's all going on with them boots?
Oh, I certainly see what you are saying by
Like,
bringing it up, and I certainly see this whole.
Why are they going up the ankle like that with all them like embellishments?
And they said, "Tell me he's not wearing hidden heels, not hidden heels."
President to dress this way. He has no style, so the White House is going to be stylishness, less style at the White House. Please drop out, sir. Just go ahead and drop out. We don't need this. This is not the
on account of them shoes.
On account of the shoes, just get out of the race. Let us live our lives without this kind of embarrassment because it's embarrassing, fashion wise. Because designers are going to want to give you boots. When you go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner each year, what are you going to wear? These boots? Absolutely not.
Well, that's what I was ready to say. If someone was to give him boots, he would get them altered.
Right. But then Secret Service would have to come play a role like you better not say anything to anyone about putting these daggone wood plates in these boots to lift him up 3 inches. Because everybody needs to think he is 6'6". 6. Oh gosh. All right. I can't with the scientists all night long. I want to talk about
is hilarious. I mean, of course it would not be funny if he, like how you were saying, if he was an amputee. If he was smart, he would come out with it because I mean, realistically, we do have a lot of, disabled people who were, injured in war and stuff like that who probably could relate if that was his situation. But he's so cocky and so damn arrogant. Definitely was one of Trump's best friends back then. So I don't know.
That is hilarious. Look at them shoes. Ew. Look how
And
he
he
walks.
look like he's walking like on a tilt, like going forward.
He is, because the boots, the heel is leading him forward in them boots. The undisclosed heel.
And that's a big heel.
It's 3 inches.
Oh, the front of them boots is
But the
curled
shade
up.
was that that's the actual cameraman at whatever show he is.
Putting it on his boots. Look at them pretty little boots.
That is the shade. That this is this is the actual cameraman that was following him with his camera that zoomed in on them boots.
The shade, the shade, the
Look at
shade.
this. Look at this. That's the man on them boots. Because apparently, I don't even know who it showed us, or it probably was Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. It was either one of them that was like, let's talk about your boots. Let's take a moment and talk about your boots. What made
No.
you use them? Who made them? And when are you taking them back? That's the 3 questions I got. When did you get them? Who made them? And when are you taking them back?
Jesus.
That's all I want to know.
They appalled. And him,
All right. So over the weekend, just to change the topic a little bit, I spent Saturday evening, I want to say from like 4:30 to almost 10 o'clock at night, um, inside of, where was I? Oh, John Hopkins Hospital in their emergency room. God, I have never had the worst experience in a hospital. And I went to Sinai. I used to go to Sinai for ER treatment, and I thought the
and
worst.
I do not, born and raised in East Baltimore, I don't deal with Hopkins, baby.
Phew, I thought Sinai was
Mm-mm.
the worst that I've ever experienced. Because I think the last time I had went into Sinai, which I haven't been in years because I got good insurance now. But in the past,
You say what?
I got good insurance now, so I haven't been in the ER in a very long time where I
You
had to
gonna
wait.
sign out, right? The bootleg, right? What you say? I go to straight in. I'm straight walked in.
Exactly. I enter the door at Kaiser. They'd be like, "You ready?" I'd be like, "Yes." So, especially with my last experience in ERs when I went to Mercy, that was the best damn experience I've ever had in
I
a hospital.
love Mercy, baby.
Good Lord, that was the best treatment I've ever had. And look, it
That's what
wasn't
I'm
even
saying. Hopkins is so
it wasn't the
overrated. Like
I have to say, it
it's a
wasn't the best
mess.
from start to finish. That's not what it was. That Mercy experience wasn't the best from start to finish because when you walk into Mercy's emergency room, it gives you every other emergency room USA, right? It's the treatment once you're in the back. When they call, but like
It's
you go
sad.
to registration.
Yes.
So when you go to registration, you come in, you check in, they take your name and your information, and then you go into triage. Well, you wait, you go into the waiting room first. So you're waiting for a minute, then they call you to go into triage. Triage does this thing and they put you back in the waiting room. But when they finally take you to that back room,
Hmm.
that's where the action happens. They are on
Mercy,
it.
mercy me.
They are on it. They are, they give you all the information up front. The nurses are helpful. They are checking in on you like every 5 to 10 minutes. I have no child. Let me tell you about John Hopkins on Saturday, though. That was not the case. And look, my best friend is an employee there. Hello?
What?
And did not get special treatment. Knew every damn body, but it was not given special treatment. It was given, okay, we'll get to you when we can.
Wow.
Okay, so but that's not my complaint. My complaint wasn't about the service. My complaint actually is about the freaking air conditioning system that they got in that bitch while they're making you suffer.
Oh,
While they're making you suffer. Now, the first thing, so once we finally get into the back room, because the triage part was actually kind of fine. Like we didn't really wait long in the emergency room waiting area. We probably was out there for probably about 10, 15, maybe I give it at the most 20 minutes before we got called to the back, right? Once we got in the back, everybody that we dealt with up in the front in the first part, like in triage, and then when the doctor first came and seen her, she knew both of them, so they treated her well. That experience was amazing. It was the part when we got back in the back that got worse. I, for one, did not understand why they had the air conditioning on ice age.
Oh, so wait, they don't have it controlled by room to room?
No. So my first question to them, look, this ain't even I'm not the patient, right? So I shouldn't have been talking so much. My first thing to them was like, all right, first, here's my what I need while I'm here. And you can ask her, this is exactly how it went. I need you to bring me a blanket. Oh, for her? No, for me. And a cup of water. Because I got a feeling that this is not going to be a good experience for her or me.
Look, but the shade is if when you in Mercy and you in the back and someone is with you, you wouldn't even have to ask that. They would have asked you.
It had to be every bit of 55 degrees in that hospital.
Oh no, how you be cold? They was trying to kill you, Monny.
It was 80 degrees outside, but it was no need for it to be 55 degrees internally. So I had a blanket. I know there's a video out there because I know my best friend took a video of me. I don't know. I can't remember where she posted it. She either posted it on Instagram or out in on TikTok. But of me, I had the blanket over my head. This is how cold it was. Trying to use my breath to heat under the blanket. It came to the point where I was like, look, maybe we should just leave. Because I think this is actually more detrimental to your health.
I mean, essentially, they were being cold to her anyway. And you
complaints didn't work. You could complain. I was like, look, do y'all know it's too cold in here? Everybody in there asked for a blanket. And then mind you, that in their back room, I've never been to an ER where they put you the patient, in a recliner chair, not a bed, a reclining chair for your triage.
Well, I know usually in some of them, like if you fast track and then it's not like I see they've done that, like if people go with like a sprained ankle or something.
That's exactly what they called it, fast tracking. No, it wasn't. Not if you were there for 4 hours. That's not fast.
Certainly not.
So,
like I said, they was being cold to her anyway if she wasn't getting some type of leeway or anything because she was an employee. I shouldn't have to wait.
And then like I said though, mind you, she was okay. She was in there because she had a car. She was in a car accident, so she came in. You don't put somebody that's going to be in body pain in a recliner. She should have been in a room with a bed, and apparently a full drawn fireplace with firewood that was set on fire because it was freezing.
A space heater, for God's sake.
We ended up asking, like, one of her friends actually that work in the hospital came over and was talking to us, and she was like, why y'all got all these blankets in here? I said, what you mean why? You work here. You know it's cold in this bitch. And they only allow y'all to wear y'all little wear jackets unless they say John Hopkins on the outside.
Right. And come to think of it, I have seen different employees and they be wrapped up in a blanket too.
Mm-hmm. So she ended up, she was like, oh, you know what I can do? I can give y'all the heat packs. So she came back with heat packs, and they didn't last long. They were only like 3 minutes worth of heat.
Yes.
So that's all. I brought this all up to say that Hopkins, I'm exposing you for the fact that you need to do something about their AC system, make it environmental or something because it shouldn't have been 55 degrees, not 55.
Right. And in most hospitals now, I mean, not to mention John Hopkins just had that elaborate renovation. You would think that they would have different, meters in like each room because down Mercy, I can definitely adjust my heat to my likeness when I go back in the ER.
And they did have an elaborate renovation
They
for,
did.
but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't given what the money they spent on it. It wasn't given that. Because one thing they did do is apparently, this was actually my first time ever in this ER, by the way. But like I said, my best friend works there and she used to work in the ED. But and she did not, she said it's smaller. That was one of the words she said. She said the waiting room, and first of all, so when you get there and you enter into the registration area, the waiting room is all right there. I want to say it's probably approximately at the most 40 seats. But in this day and age, 40 seats to me means 20 seats for social distancing.
Right.
If you're not family and, a seat between each of us, we got to have a seat. It has to be a chair between us.
And if it's smaller, like I haven't been in there, but if it's smaller, because when they had the old entrance that was around there off of Monument Street, it wasn't so big then. But yeah, I know that it was millions of dollars. I can't exactly quote the price. But I don't like it. I don't like the windows. I mean, that little roundabout when you drive up in the hospital off of Orleans Street is cute. But they definitely made the traffic on Orleans Street terrible. And the window, it just looks so ugly. It looks ugly. I don't know who was the designer of it with those specs on the windows. And it's just ugly.
I don't know. Whew. It was so cold that, unlike any other time, after I take my blood pressure medicine, I usually have to go to the bathroom an awful lot. It was too cold to even have to go to the bathroom. That's how cold it was.
You said you didn't even want to go to the bathroom.
I couldn't. I didn't have to. It was too cold to go to the bathroom.
It was running back up in you.
It never came down.
It was giving
It was like it was so scared to come down for me to actually have to pee. It never came down because I was freezing too much.
It was giving no.
Mm. It's giving me waste of money. I mean, that's what it's giving me. If this remodel was supposed to be all that, it's not. There was
Oh
only
my
one.
goodness, it's a mess.
There
And
was
I
only
have been in the new John Hopkins, but not exactly in the emergency room. But I just remember my experience with that garage. That god awful garage is a mess. It's hectic. I used to live in that housing complex that was right there that they were so adamant about knocking down to build that damn garage. It's just the design is just, it looks bulky. It looks outdated. It's supposed to have been this new, modern type of look. And if you're saying the ER is smaller, then they definitely ain't worrying about no one coming for the emergency services. I look at it as an experimental hospital. That's why I started. And I'll end with that statement. I don't deal with John Hopkins.
Oh my goodness, why did I call him Matthew Perry? That is not his name.
Wow.
Who am I talking about?
We was talking about John Hopkins.
It is Perry. Okay. I've got another Matthew in my head that also passed away. Who is that? What's the other Matthew that passed away?
I'm not sure. I did hear about the Matthew Perry, but everyone is transitioning, baby.
And maybe his name wasn't Matthew.
Was he an actor as well?
Yes. He was actually on 90210.
Oh,
Why is he
goodness.
ringing? He's jumping in my head right now. Oh my goodness! I'm drawing a blank. I'm looking because I can't. What was his name? He also passed away. But anyway, okay. Hold on, maybe I got it now. Let me see. Who else played in Math? No, this is the new one. It'll come to me. He played. He was Shannon Doherty's boyfriend on there. That didn't help. Nobody knows. Nobody can comment. No, damn.
Damn.
Those
I don't know, and I can't help you. I don't have my laptop because you know to let my fingers get to running. I'm on this phone, and I know if I try to do anything, I already cut myself off one time before.
Okay, it wasn't Matthew. I knew it wasn't Matthew. The first name wasn't Matthew, but the last name was Perry, and it's Luke Perry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, he died on March 4th, 2019. Another thing I knew was another Perry that died that was an actor that I liked too, just as much as I like Matthew Perry. So yeah, so this was all actually about Matthew Perry that I was actually bringing up. Rest in peace to him. That was my
Rest in peace.
my
Rest
friend
in
Chandler.
power, I like to say.
Mm-hmm. That's my friend Chandler Bing from the 1994 franchise franchise of Friends that ran from 1994 to 2004, and I watched every single episode of that show. I know some people were like, "Oh, take your black card because you should have been watching Living Single." I actually didn't find Living Single funny back then. As funny as I do think the show is now that I've rewatched it. It's Max is always going to be everybody's favorite character, right? From Living Single, but it wasn't Friends. I had two favorite characters on there: Phoebe and Chandler Bing.
Yeah, I watched a bit of both. But I think I did used to watch Friends a little bit more. It should just be more happening on there. It used to just be,
It may have been a completely white ensemble cast, but they were funny. They were funny. I'm sorry, they were. They got me. They got me every Thursday at 8:00. That's exactly where I was watching Friends. It actually kind of my best friend and our old best friend that we used to have, we all was at home at 8:00 on Thursday every night waiting for Friends to come on.
okay.
That was our TV time.
Friends watching Friends.
8:30. Don't bother us on Thursdays from 8 to 8:30 because we watching Friends. So we can talk
Friends
about
watching Friends.
And we've been wanting them to do a reunion, and they did a reunion. They did do a reunion on HBO, but we were talking about like as their characters and showing us where they are now, because at the end of Friends, Phoebe had babies, and Monica and Chandler had babies. Rachel and what was Monica's brother's name? Rachel and Ross. They had a daughter, so they all would be grown at this point. All of them would be grown.
You be calling out everything of the shows. Yes, Monty, you are definitely a show guy. I was a fan. I can't recall. I know I used to watch it, but I definitely could not quote those names as if you were calling them out.
Phoebe had triplets for her brother. They would be grown. Then she had a baby. I think she had a baby on her own. I mean, because they did show like 10 years later, like a couple years later, they did like a future perspective on the show, showing them taking their kids to college and them finally the kids meeting each other. Like they have grown apart or something like that. But they were friends. They were still friends, but they were living differently, separate. And their kids had grown up and ended up going to the same college, and they became friends. It was like the repetitiveness of their life, basically, that their friends became friends, and then they were supposed to grow up friends, like that.
Oh, okay. That's
And that was
cute.
it. And I would like to see what they could have did. I would have loved to have seen what they could have did as an ensemble cast again, showing us what was it, 2004? So 20 years later. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Their
right.
kids grown. Their kids probably have their own kids or getting married, or maybe one of their kids is getting married and they had to come together as something funny. It could have been a movie for all I cared. It didn't
Right.
even have to be like a TV show. They could have made like a little movie of the ensemble kid. Now I don't think that will ever happen now, which is fine too, because
Oh,
we lived it. I mean, those of us that was there from 1994 to 2004, we lived it, and we loved it.
right.
Yeah,
And I'm just
Jada was.
sitting here thinking, and I'm looking at his picture and the RIP, and as you're calling out the names, I'm thinking about some of the scenes of him with, and just even his smile. He
Mm-hmm,
definitely did give me a lot of laughs
mm-hmm.
throughout the years. Friends, of course, having been on for years. They did run reruns
Yeah, they got
for
it's
quite a
all over
while.
HBO Max. If you haven't seen Friends, it's on HBO Max. You can catch it there. Um,
Yeah.
so I was getting ready to say something. Shoot, I just had a brain fart.
I'd have
Um,
messed up your thoughts. But but definitely rest in power to Matthew Perry. Condolences to his family, and of course that whole cast, because I'm feeling a little bit devastated thinking about reminiscing. So I can just imagine
mhm,
how they were feeling when they got this news.
right. Yeah, he was 54 years old. He passed on October the 28th. Um, he in a recent interview, he was stated at saying that the person that has been in contact with him, uh, since the show ended in 2004, is Jennifer Aniston, Rachel.
Oh,
He said in the past interview, he was saying that Rachel or Jennifer Aniston had been reaching out to him through all of his ups and downs with his sobriety. She was the main person, and I can see that because Jennifer Aniston is that kind of person. Like I know she keeps in contact. Like Jennifer Aniston is probably the one that's probably keeping all of their friendships together. She's probably that one in the
right,
middle, the one in the middle that communicates with all of the cast the most. Like her and Jennifer, Courtney Cox, they're close friends. So that's already a given.
right,
But not so much with, everybody is not so much that ensemble group of friends like you would think they were because they work on the show called Friends where they were always in close proximity, but they're not all that close. They weren't all that close. They were close on the show, but when the show ended, just like like when you leave high school, you might be friends with a whole bunch of people and close with a whole bunch of people. But when you leave high school, some of them people drop off. They go about their own way. They do their own thing, and that's exactly what it was. Like I said, like Courtney and Jennifer, they were real tight, but not with Phoebe, Lisa Kudrow. Lisa Kudrow went out and did her own thing, by herself, and so did David Schwimmer, Ross. He went out
hmm
and did his own thing, and then Chandler Bing, and who Joey was. Joey went and did his. He stayed in sitcom glory with starting that show that was on HBO. I can't remember what it's called. I think it was called Encore or something like that. Something where he was like a actor on the show, and then he came back to NBC and had his own show called Joey. So yeah, he went off and did his own thing, and then even Matthew Perry came back to sitcom fame and did another show. I forgot what that one was called too.
Oh my goodness, not you.
Yeah, but
You
I
be
mean,
on
it was
all the
good.
shows.
It was a show where he was a sports writer too, something like that, and it was pretty good. It only lasted a season though; it got canceled. Um,
But 54, that's fair. That's still fairly young to me. I'm not far from it. But I was reading, I was seeing the way that he died. So such tragic. Was it a drowning or
but yeah, he
something of
drowned
the
in a
sort?
swimming pool.
So sad.
That's great. That's yeah. That's sad.
That's
But
sad.
But truth be told, if that was the way for me to go,
One of the worst ways to die.
you
What you
think
was ready
so?
to say? That's
I
the
would
way.
prefer it.
You would prefer to drown?
I would.
Oh my goodness.
I'm at so much. Because to me, without the struggling though, without the
Um,
struggling of drowning, okay. To me, I'm more at peace underwater than anywhere else on this planet.
But
I
I don't think in
love
that type of which name, and when you think of drowning, though, um, I could only see a struggle unless you were like unconscious, like to be
But
underwater
see, that's
because
the thing. We don't know. We don't know that part. That's why I'm waiting for the autopsy to come out because they said there was no foul play. So either he drowned because he was drunk, which there might not have been a struggle because he was probably intoxicated,
mm,
or he drowned with a struggle, or as if like he had a heart attack or something. He couldn't help but to struggle.
right.
But we don't know that part. That's the thing. We don't know that part until the autopsy comes out. And I'm waiting for that because I would like to know how, because it could have been very peaceful and they just found his body floating.
That's what I was ready to say. Yeah, I don't know. I was ready to say that, and in my mind, see, I only can see the struggle of drowning,
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you definitely are bringing up some points that it could have been, someone chilling, intoxicated in a pool, and
And he just went
he
under.
slipped under, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how they were saying how Whitney did in the bathtub in a
Mm-hmm.
hotel. So yeah, it's just sad though, drowning. I wouldn't want to drown, but I get what you're saying. I would not
Mm-hmm.
want to drown or die in a fire. Those are just like so
Yeah,
tragic
the
to
fire
me.
part. Yeah, that fire part would be that's torture. That would be living torture.
Yes. But being out in somewhere, like I always thought of that, like drowning, like being out in somewhere and you had to swim, but it's so far, you're not gonna make it, and then oh my goodness, no.
Yeah.
But either way, rest in power. It's tragic and of course so sudden.
Right. Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
I,
Does he leave behind any children? Was he
that is a good point. I do not know if he does.
married or anything? I don't think he was married. Was he
I don't
married?
think he was married anymore. He did have a
Okay.
wife. Um, I'm gonna write it up. He is leaving behind. Yeah, apparently didn't have any children.
Wow. That's crazy. But he was a nice looking white man. I remember him from on the show. I do remember him being one of my favorite on Friends as well.
Hmm. He was engaged in up until 2021 to someone. I forgot he dated Julia Roberts. He sure did. From 1995 to 96.
That was
Oh,
short lived.
yeah.
I know Julia's probably hurting.
Oh, he said he became an alcoholic at the age of 14.
Wow.
Sheesh.
And even in the midst of that, you know what I mean? Because in Friends, of course, he was well over 14. So to even have that level of success with that show and then to come off of there and do other
Woo!
projects.
I wanted to talk to him. I'm sorry. I mean, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But I would have loved to have talked to him about his experience with alcohol-induced pancreatitis. I had that.
Mm,
That is the most painful thing I have ever been through.
wow.
Alcohol-induced pancreatitis. Because I thought, look, the entire time I had it, I thought I was having. I thought I had strep throat. I thought I had kidney stones. I thought I had um uh what um um what's it called? Oh shoot, when you backed up.
What, pals? or
No,
something of the sort.
not bowels, but what is it called when you're backed up? I was constipated.
Constipated.
I thought I was constipated. I thought all of that was happening at once. That's how painful I thought I was I had thought I was really, really, really constipated. I thought I was backed up because I hadn't had a bowel movement in days. This is how long it was going because it just kept getting worse. I was taking cough syrup. I was sleeping with halls. I had my humidifier on. My nose wouldn't stop running. I was crying. I couldn't stand up straight because I thought I had to go to the bathroom. It felt like I was having pressure, like I had to go to the bathroom, but nothing would come out. This is how gruesome it was. I vomited. I was vomiting everywhere, so I thought I had the flu. They was giving me, I was talking to my doctor. They was giving me. They finally was like, come in here, because something's not right. The antibiotics not working. Nothing is working. Come in here. By the time I came in there, I was so bent over that I could continuously touch my toes because I couldn't stand up straight.
Right, and constipation is enough, honey.
And it wasn't even constipation.
Had you like
there
that.
is nothing in your bowel. When they did my I think it was the CT scan. There's nothing in your bowels. You're not backed up. So that's when she was like, all right, we're going to do a different test. And that's when they came out and told me I had pancreatitis. I said, oh my goodness, that was the moment I stopped drinking. No more alcohol. Alcohol-induced pancreatitis is the worst thing ever.
Sounds like it.
It's severe. You feel that pain from the middle of your stomach and it reverberates through the rest of your body, all over, like in a circular pattern, all over.
Dang, Monny, you been drinking like that?
Chill. And I didn't drink that bad, but it was we drank every night though. That's what it was. I wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't like that kind of drunk. I wasn't drunk anyway. I was drinking wine every night. That's the only thing I would drink. I never was a person to do hard liquor like that anyway, unless I was on vacation. Then everything is, up for grabs. But if I'm home, I'm just having a glass of wine every night, drinking wine with dinner. I was a wine drinker. But after I got that alcohol-induced, I gave up the same way I did.
No, ma'am.
I gave up. I gave like the same way I got that. I had the asthma attack and gave up cigarettes. All you got to do is inflict harm on me one time, and I'm over. It. And that vice is done. I said that, yeah, I'm not your typical addict.
Right. Call me Michael Jackson. That is it.
I am not your typical addict. If I'm addicted to something and it causes me harm, it's over. I'm done. Alcohol, and it was year after year because the pancreatitis happened in 2018. As soon as that happened, I stopped drinking. The only time I drink is when I go to the Dominican Republic and I'm a fish. Okay. I drink like a fish in the Dominican Republic. And then in 2019, I had the asthma attack and quit cigarettes. Cold turkey, August 26, 2019. No more cigarettes. I'm just not your typical addict. I can't do it. I'm not an addict. Addiction is not my thing. So Perry was also addicted to Vicodin. He had that going for him.
Oh,
that's another one that's hard to kick because it feels so good when the pills activate. He was addicted to Vicodin after he was on a jet ski accident in 1997. So he had so basically he had an addictive personality because it says he was also addicted to Vicodin, methadone, amphetamines, and alcohol.
Damn, Matthew.
In 2018, he nearly died after his colon burst from opioid abuse.
Goodness.
He spent 2 weeks in a coma and used a colostomy bag for 9 months.
Oh my goodness.
2 years later, while attending rehab in Switzerland, Perry faked pain to get a prescription of 1,800 milligrams of Oxycontin. Mm. He had a tumultuous life. I mean, I still loved him though.
Right.
He
I
was a
would say
great
so
comic.
myself.
He was a great comedic actor. That's exactly what I can describe him as. He was a great comedic actor.
Ain't it just so crazy? And I don't even want to say crazy, but it's definitely not ironic that some of, the best comedians or some of the most, favorable people that are in that comedian, that light and stuff like that, and that have had them type of lives. Now you saying all this stuff about him. I'm thinking about one of my favorite who
Well,
committed suicide.
let me read you this full paragraph because this full paragraph is very graphic and very wow. It says 2 years later, while attending rehab in Switzerland, Perry faked pain to get a prescription of 1,800 milligrams of Oxycontin per day and was having daily ketamine infusions. He was given propofol in conjunction with a surgery which stopped his heart for 5 minutes. The resulting cardiopulmonary resuscitation resulted in 8 broken ribs. He paid $175,000 for a private jet to take him to Los Angeles to get more drugs. When doctors there refused, Perry spent another $175,000 to take a private jet back to Switzerland. In 2022, he was estimated that $9 million was spent on his addiction, including 14 stomach surgeries, 15 stays in rehab, and therapy twice a week for 30 years. Perry also asserted that
Wow.
he had attended approximately 6,000 Alcoholic Anonymous meetings. Mm.
Mm.
The interesting part is how they detailed this his personal, because that paragraph was a part of his personal life. I know that was a part of his health and addiction life. I just
Mm.
hope that in between all of those high and intoxicated predicaments, that it was some fun in there, not just being high and lazy. Because if you're going to do it, enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Even though that's some
Right. I
hard
would
living.
hope so
That's
too.
some
Right.
hard living. But enjoy your life at the same time. Don't just intoxicate your world away.
Right. But baby, I'm thinking about spending 300,000 alone just chasing drugs, not even on the drug. Like my goodness.
Right.
And then having to get surgeries, as a result of that.
That's what I'm saying. At least I hope when you got to the point where they was like, well, you're going to have surgery, you can actually say to yourself, well, I had a good damn time.
Right. But that
Okay?
was a
You see what I'm
lot because
saying?
some people have one vice, but my God, just the fact that I'm sitting here thinking that how sad it is, and of course tragic that he drowned. But just listening and all of that, and everything that he's been through, like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that is crazy. I never knew. I never knew all of that. I did hear about, his battles with addiction and stuff like that, but I did not know it was numerous. People struggle alone off of one. You know what I
Right.
mean? One
Exactly.
being addicted to alcohol, but to and then I know it was a different challenge when you have the money, to kind
Mhm.
of feed your addiction. People, who don't have the money do all types of things to feed their addiction, but catching a plane $175,000 before you even get the drug to
Right.
try to get the drug, baby.
Mm.
I know he had some alcoholic and some druggy friends.
Especially when you spend that $175,000 and you don't know already that you're going to get the drug. You get there and they tell you you're not getting it, so you got to spend $175,000 to go somewhere
Right.
else
It
because you're
just
not
going
calling ahead.
right. It's given. Oh, let me go see. Let me go over
Yeah,
here.
let me just go stay. I'll take this chance.
Let me
But
go see.
that's the mind of an addict. That's the mind of an addict. If I got it and
Yeah.
I can splurge it, I'll do it.
But did you hear me?
That's
I
three
said
people's fault.
I know he had some friends. I know he wasn't doing all them drugs and stuff on his own.
I wonder, and who were they?
You
Because
know, an
they
expensive,
weren't really your friends. They were your addicted friends,
yes.
but they weren't really your friends because they weren't helping you in any way, shape,
No,
or form.
not at all. But what I'm saying is that I'm sure, with him being to indulge in that way because he was basically, financially set. I know it was a lot of people that were dealing with that addiction as well, taking advantage
Mm-hmm.
of that and him trying to be friends. I'm sure he has fronted a lot of others, drug use.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't traveling back and forth just $175,000 to get, I don't know, maybe for himself, but that just seems like, yeah, he was having a party, even though it wasn't, that couldn't have been so much fun. But like you said, in the addict world, it certainly is.
Sorry, everything's falling.
You in there in the dark.
I know, and I'm trying to be quiet as I go in the kitchen. I'm scared the refrigerator light is going to tell people that I'm in here.
That was pretty. They better be in the house by now, these kids. It's
It's
school tomorrow.
8:10. It's only 8:10 though. They're probably going to be out to at least 9.
It's school tomorrow. It's too
It is.
dark.
It definitely is school tomorrow. All right, let's move
Look,
on.
I'm
Let's talk
saying
about
that like
Lizzo.
mine go to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Yeah. So all right. So I'll say that all to say, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Rest in
You were
peace.
loved. All right, let's talk about Lizzo and this lawsuit that she still has going on with these 3 women that I still don't believe you. I don't believe you. I still don't believe you. And now it makes it
Mm.
even worse that I mean, it kind of doesn't, but it kind of does. 18 of Lizzo's current dancers that have been with her for just as long as when those the ones that are suing her was on the dance crew. They all wrote letters in support of Lizzo and defending her in writing against these allegations from these dancers, who names is Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. Those are the ones that are responsible for this lawsuit against Lizzo. And one of the women that is one of the current dancers currently right now that is denying these claims of these women, she in her statement she says this, and this is what I remember saying this to you when we were talking about this on your show.
Hmm.
That actually fits into what I was saying to you on your show about this situation. So here's what her statement, a quote out of her statement says: "This claim also makes no sense because plenty of the dancers, including herself included, did not go to the Bananan Bar that night and still have our jobs dancing with Lizzo." So remember, they was like, they was fearing for if they didn't go to the club, they wouldn't have their jobs. This is now actually contradicting it because this person didn't go. Her name
Right.
was.
What she was saying, right. She supposedly had them engaging in activities
Mhm.
and stuff that they
Her
weren't really
name is Kiara
fond
Mori.
of.
And she said,
Right.
I'm a dancer now, and I was a dancer when when those women were here." And she did not go to the bar with them that night because she didn't want to, and she's still working. So that now contradicts what they're saying in their claim that they had no choice but to go. No, you had a choice. You had a choice. Your choice could have been go and then if they would have threatened you, then you quit. But you wanted the opportunity, right?
Right. It was giving
That's what
kissing
I'm
ass.
hearing. Yeah, I'm hearing a whole bunch of I didn't say this and I didn't do this, but you and I didn't want to do this, but you did it. And you're a grown up. You're not a child. You're grown.
Right. And you know why it just makes me feel just iffy overall about the whole claim because out of all the things that they could have accused her of, it just seems like it's just so underhanded, knowing what Lizzo basically represent, far as the proudness or a body image and of womanhood and everything. And it just seems like they are particularly attacking that. It's not the pay. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it just seems like it was something that was thrown out there to basically discredit her and tarnish her image.
I still don't know what they're asking for either in the lawsuit. Yeah, I don't see it on my paper here, or what they're asking for. They're looking for an apology. Are they just trying to get her in trouble? What's the monetary value of this lawsuit? I don't know. I hope it doesn't go anywhere because, again, you had every right to quit or file any kind of complaint with the, whatever equal opportunity agency or whatever the case may be. You could, again, this is one of the remedies that you could seek. But what are you seeking? Do you want to be hired back? Because that's a no. Do you want to be
Right.
dancing somewhere else? I think that's over for you now. Like, I don't think anybody else was going to hire you now to be a dancer. Why
I
would they?
wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it.
You are a liability at all costs. You are a liability because I don't know if you're going to do this to me again, do this to someone else or the next person that hires you. Now you've kind of
Right.
basically ended your career. So are you going to have to go change your name? Ariana Davis. You can't be Ariana Davis no more. You're going to be Davis and Ariana.
Mm. The lies is given. I don't know. It's given Jesse. It's given Jesse and Cardi.
I can't. Oh,
They're gonna
Steve.
have to change their names and no success. But yeah, I haven't seen any details about, what are they trying to request as far as the compensation? Is it financial? Is it anything in that? But I'm definitely, and I'm going to be seconding or assuming, should I say, that it's definitely about that coin. Because I mean, what else?
Oh man, I had a video I wanted to show y'all. Oh, I didn't download it though. I forgot. I did have a video I wanted to show y'all. It was a video of this makeup artist that says the title of the video was like transforming my 80-year-old grandma into a 25-year-old. And it had me in here rolling in the comments because the comments are brutal. Talking about where's the 25? It was like in the comments, like, where's the 25-year-old? I thought there was a 25-year-old supposed to be in this video. Like she still look 80 to me. Like
Oh, she cake mama makeup up.
she did, and then this woman put her hand up next to her face, like how you do the pretty thing, and you put your fingers on your face, like, and try to turn your head to the side. And she did that, and her whole entire hand was so dark skinned, but her makeup is like a light skinned woman.
Oh,
I was in here rolling. I wanted to show you guys that video so bad, so maybe I'll show it next week if I think
or
about
maybe
it.
she was saying I gave her a $25 makeup job.
I just want to say, now that I'm moving on from Lizzo, I want to say get well to my friend James Spires. He used to have a radio show on Be Exposed Radio. He suffered a heart attack. I think probably I want to give it within the past 2 weeks. He suffered a heart attack and had to go under the night. I think this was actually his second heart attack in his life, though. He's not that old. I'm going to give James maybe close to 50, if not 50. And he's already had 2 heart attacks, so he had to go under the knife this past week, for a triple bypass surgery that was done successfully. And so he's on the mend. And when you see James, you wouldn't think that he, would be having heart issues because he's so small, and he's so. If anybody knows James, he has this white beard, like pure white beard. You know James, Chastity.
Oh, the guy that we met at the party where I had.
Yes, at around the
Oh,
corner.
yeah,
Yes,
certainly not. And a triple bypass. Oh wow, that is serious.
yes.
I met a guy today. That's so crazy. That was telling me that he had that experience, and he just was saying, since that operation, he does not, feel like himself. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
it
because now
changed him
you got a
basically.
permanent pacemaker in your chest, helping your heart continue to
Yeah,
beat
he said they like
normally.
take your heart out of your chest.
Mm-hmm.
to operate on it. And then he was saying they had to like go in both of his legs, and his
Yeah.
calves through the veins and stuff. But he was saying that since he had that operation, that major operation like that, he just was saying, he just feels off, mentally, emotionally, he just say he does not feel like himself. He said he's trying to get back to himself, but he just does not feel like
I mean,
himself,
I can
like
only
his.
imagine. I can only imagine. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I will never have to experience something like that.
Ooh, praise
I mean,
God.
'cause right now it's making at this moment right now it's making my chest hurt just thinking about it because I seen the scar that he. I mean, the closure, the closure where they did the surgery at. He had posted a picture of it. I didn't want to show it on here because it's very. I don't want y'all to think the same way I'm thinking right now. Like, gosh, please don't let this happen to me. But it was the scar looked like it was every bit of 6 inches, long, going down his chest, the middle of his chest, where they had to crack his
Right.
chest open there to get the heart out to do the surgery on the heart.
Oh,
And that's just so wow. He's a trooper. I don't. I mean, I don't know. In those kind of situations, you got to go through that part about being revived, and then when they put when they put you to sleep, because
yes.
I've heard people tell me that feels like
It's
death.
so scary. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
when they put you to sleep, it's because it's involuntary. You're being put to sleep involuntarily. It's not because you're
Right.
tired. You didn't go lay down to go to sleep. They're putting gas in your system to make you go to sleep. And that could be the last time you're awake. And you won't know when
Right.
you pass away because you already feel like in a state of gone because you don't
Right.
know that you're asleep because you were forced to
Right.
sleep.
That's exactly what it is. Like I've had some major surgeries, but not major to that effect. And it's just all right. It feels so eerie when you
Mm-hmm.
wake up and you just realize that you were under like for so long because again, they may tell you what's the expected time for you to kind of be under, but
And you
sometimes things happen and being
yes.
asleep for 6 or, 8
Yes. And you have
longer
to
or
be
that.
mentally
Oh,
prepared. You have to get yourself mentally prepared for that. To
it's
know
so it's
that
so
you were
spooky.
so you're right, that you were so out of it. I mean, because of the drugs they give you, because of the gas they give you to put you out, that you were so out of it that you had no control over your body for a long period of time.
Right. And
And you
might
had
I
no
add,
control.
and then when you wake up from that type of, being under that
You
type
went
of
through
state.
you actually went through a trauma. You actually went
Yes,
through a
and when
trauma
you
when you
wake
woke
up,
up.
Monty, it's just like this feeling. It's just like, where am I at? Like
Yeah.
you probably don't really even recall the whole experience a lot of times to the next day. Like the 2 times I had to get a surgery, you just kind of still be in this cloud.
Hmm.
People be talking to you. Of course, you be woke, you be responding and whatever, but everything is just like
And that was the
in
part
a
I was trying
fog.
because you remember when I was in the hospital in February, I was telling you that they was telling me that I might have to get surgery on my throat
Yes,
to see why my throat kept closing up. And I was, and I'm not a shaking person, so I wasn't really like I was terrified of the notion, but I wasn't terrified of the surgery itself. But I was terrified of, what I kept thinking in my head that wasn't, it wasn't interacting in my head to the point that it was like, okay, I'm not going to do the surgery because I'm terrified. But it was still a scary thought to think that if they put me under, I might not wake up. Or if they
yes,
can't
that's
get,
always
or if something
scary.
goes wrong, I might not wake up. But I have no
Yeah,
control over what happens at that point.
right. So when people, of course, with today's medical technology, um, a lot of those procedures are a lot more safer, but still,
Mm-hmm.
we don't think
Those
about it
thoughts,
all the
it
time.
don't stop
But
those
those
thoughts
things
thinking
do
about it.
happen and they happen more often than we realize. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people go in for surgery and don't make it out
Yeah, they
and
don't.
don't make it out. And then also after the surgery, even a lot of times when you have a successful surgery like that, and thinking of him with a triple bypass, you are definitely high risk for, complications and infections and different things that, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm beside myself. Yes, prayers for James because we had fun that night.
We sure did. We
he
definitely
talked
did.
Yes, he talked. He had me laughing the whole
Where were we
entire
at?
time.
What is that club called? I can never think of the club. I always want to give it a shout out.
I
Damn,
cannot.
it's not
I
Select.
cannot think of it. No,
It's
it's not.
not.
And you always call it that, but it's
I
not.
always do because what the hell is that damn street name? Ridgely, ain't it?
Yes, it's something and something bar and so it's like a two name, like something and something. I do remember that, but it was very nice. The bar, I enjoyed sitting out the back. Um, we was up there celebrating. Of course, it was the twins' birthday party, right?
Yes, Eric and Erica.
Right. And I didn't even know them, by the way. So, mind you guys, it's like my first time meeting them, meeting the crew, re meeting some people that were affiliated
Elite,
with Be
elite, elite,
Exposed.
elite, elite, elite.
Elite. It was a nice time down there.
Shout
It
out
was
to
a
Elite.
nice time.
Elite. That's where
Shout
Pork
out to
Chop.
Elite because I hadn't been out in a long time, and that was a very good experience. And one of the reasons I hadn't been out because I don't usually. It's sad to say I don't usually have good experience when I go into those type of settings. That's like bar,
Mm-hmm.
dancing and stuff. I just don't enjoy myself, but I really enjoyed myself, and it was
That's
people that I
you
was
know that's the
meeting
bar.
like for the first time.
Yeah, Elite is the bar where Pork Chop from 92Q actually does his live. He goes live from there all the
Yes,
time.
because he was DJing that night. He
Yeah.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, James. That was my buddy that night.
That's so
Oh,
funny because I had just, right before he called and told me that he had the heart attack. He was just talking on the phone about he wanted me to come see this property that he was involved in where he was doing his little not his little but his acting thing and like where they film Tubi movies over here, the studio thing that he had, and he wanted me to come see it, and I didn't get a chance to come see it because the following week he called and yeah, that's happened. So get well soon, James. I mean, I know, like I said, the surgery went through successfully. He came out of it in good spirits, and it was just but it was just bizarre that all of that transpired. Like it was like, what caused it? I still, haven't got the chance to go through that with him, but I will. What happened? Why it happened? What is going on in your life that's making you have these? I want to get to the bottom of it. That's my friend. I want to know what's going on, so I can maybe possibly help him change his environment, change what he's doing. You know what I mean?
yeah. But with some of those things and with those type of health issues and sometimes it doesn't be anything, at all, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to get to see what's going on in his life.
Yeah,
To
hoping
see
that it's
why
not that. I
in
get what you're
the short
saying.
time that I've known him, what has it been, like 5 years, maybe 5, 6 years that I've known him. In that short time that I've known him, he's had two that led him to a bypass surgery.
Right.
But that's not a good thing. Like something that you're doing is not doing it right.
Right.
But we
But
love
that's what I
you.
was going to say. It may just be some malfunctions or, of his heart. I'm not going to necessarily say it's anything that he's doing. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
when you have those type of ailments or, some malfunctions with that major body organ like that, of course, it can be, different things in your life that you may be all indulging in that, of
Mm-hmm.
course, would affect that, but not necessarily so. You know what I mean? He could
Right.
just have, some people is born, I don't want to say bad hearts, but yeah, that baby. That's why y'all better be grateful. Look, I'm ready to come with my slogan on here. But talk about it, Monty. That's why I'm always screaming, you better live, honey,
Mm-hmm.
because you just don't know. Mm, mm, mm.
I can race a shout out to Cody. Cody at Wawa in Glen Burnie, right on Ritchie Highway. He always makes fun. He always makes this funny joke that he makes my love not makes my love.
Ooh, wait a minute.
He always makes my sandwiches because you know Wawa makes some good sandwiches. He makes my sandwiches with love, and shout out to Cody. He's the nicest little guy. And when I tell you, when them people come in there, they fall in love with this man. He got these pure gray eyes that look like they look into your soul.
And what location is this?
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to talk about it no more. Thanks. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, another shout out. Shout out to Mikey, also in Glen Burnie on Ritchie Highway. He just had another baby. I don't know what it was, though. I'm not sure if it was another daughter. He does have a daughter already, but I'm not sure if it was a boy or a girl. But he had another baby last week, so congratulations on that. Do I have any more? Oh, I thought I have one more shout out. I'm not gonna get rid of this card because this card is holding my book from closing. This lady that I met last week at when I was picking up my mail, her name is Cardi Reddick, just like the movie. Candy. Oh, damn, what did I say, Cardi? I got Cardi B on the mind. I was just watching her video. Her name is Candy Reddick. She's the founder of Mindful Maroon. Is a holistic healing and wellness platform that makes it easy and access to dope content and book verified healers and mystics.
Interesting.
If you want to check her out, her website is Mindful Maroon. So that's Mindful Maroon, MAROON. So Mindful, MINDFUL, MAROON.com. Check her out. I like this lady. She's pretty cool. We were just talking about actually, as a matter of fact, this kind of matches with you, Chastity, because she was at the Black Skate event.
Was she?
Yeah. When I was just telling her, I said, I didn't go. You know, I didn't go. But I had a representative there, you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you probably met her or not.
But
And
I think I represented well. So she was there as a vendor?
I'm not sure if she was a vendor or not now that I'm thinking about it, but I think she was a vendor.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was Mindful Maroon. Candy Reddick. She's the founder. So shout out to her, like I said. So all right, let's move on.
Candy. Shout out Candy on Halloween. But Mindful Maroon.
So let's move on to who else do I have to talk about? Because I'm going to save Fat 45 for last. Who else do I have to talk about today? I did a lot of talking today. To the point that I had to get up and get some water.
Goodness.
That's how my mouth is so dry at this moment.
And see, I be telling you that all the time. That's why I have my water on the show, and it just seems like it's never enough.
All right, well, I guess this will be the last story that I have then, because yeah, everything else that I have is about him. So, all right, let's get into it. Where'd it go? Did I not pull it over? I wouldn't put it past me for that.
Oh, Monny, you don't have to bring it up on the next show. Remember you had brung that question of, your friend would commit that crime, and that is, remember you had sent that,
yeah. I forgot what the question was, though.
I remember, but we're going to talk about that story. We've probably been in that for a while.
Yeah. Let's do that next.
I tell you, but that was really interesting because I was really like, I don't know what I would do. But just to rejoggle your memory, it was kind of like your friend committing a crime came and told you, and then y'all were looking at the news and seeing that someone had got locked up for the innocent person.
Yeah, and it was like what you had told. What would you do?
Right, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to see guys? I just didn't know. I wouldn't want to see my family member in jail, but I wouldn't want to see an innocent person in jail either. And I just was like, my mind was boggling, like, I don't know.
All right, so the next topic is yeah, I'm gonna try. I gotta figure out where the thing where I got that from, and then we can yeah, definitely talk about that because that was a good one. That was
Yes,
actually
it was.
our audience imposed question. What would the
Yeah.
it's I would actually like some responses. Oh, damn, you know what I didn't do for this? I do have 2 emails that I received last week that I wanted to actually answer their question asking for advice. Oh, I give great advice, by the way. Um, so if you ever wanted to get some of my advice, look at my information is right there at the bottom. Email me at tls@beexposedradio.com. Just basically, if you want to be anonymous, put anonymous in the title. I won't read your email address or anything like that. But if you don't want to be your name, be out there, just say that I want this to be anonymous, and then tell me your story. Be detailed. Give me all the information that's pertinent to the story, because I don't want to have to be on here asking questions like, what happened there? Why didn't you tell me about this part? Did you do this? Did you do that? No, come on, be real detailed about what you want to be told and said and asked about, because then I'm gonna have questions for you that you might have to reply to me in the following week. So just be real detailed about your story in the beginning. So when I'm giving out the advice that you're asking for, I can be clear and concise. Whew.
Okay.
That was a real big mouthful. Okay, wait. Where is Trump? Oh, I know where it is. All right. Let me fix this. I think I did this already, but I guess I didn't. And then this. This. Okay, here we go. I was missing a title. So in the Trump world, let's get started with this bull. I wanted to end the show with this too, because
The Trump circus.
this might be a full-on onslaught on these people. So this story is about Talk Lately versus Trump's children, right? The Trump children. That's what they are. There they are. Eric, Donald, Ivanka, and then their father.
Them sons. Oh.
So they're playing. They're those three are all 4 of them are set to testify in November. So starting tomorrow, with all 3 of the children are testifying on different days. So what the case is about. So this is the civil case that's being brought by Attorney General of New York, Letitia James. Accusations to the former president of inflating the value of his properties. We already know that Judge Arthur Agoron previously ruled that Trump regularly lied on his financial statements in order to get these deals and cheaper, in the evaluations of his property, so he could get cheaper loans and things like that, which is illegal. I mean, we can't do it, so he shouldn't have been able to do it. But because he's supposed to be this expert real estate tycoon, which is fraudulent and bullshit in itself, he did it anyway and got away with it for the most part for the past 20, 30, 40 years, right? So now here we are. Donald Trump Jr. is supposed to be testifying tomorrow, November the 1st. Eric Trump goes up on the stand on November the 2nd. And then Donald Trump himself will go up on my sister's birthday of November the 6th. And then here we go with Ivanka. Ivanka Trump is going to be testifying on my birthday of November the 8th. I wish I could be. I want them to see, this is the thing that I'm having a problem with, because I think they should be televised. We should have a set station where they're televising these cases, because we're talking about the history. This is now history. It's not just that we're talking about Donald Trump, the real estate tycoon who's being sued by New York. We're talking about the history of it all because he is a former president of the United States of America. This has to go down in history. You know what? He's not John Joe, the plumber down the street. He is the former president of the United States. Everything that happens to him in his life here going forward will make it into an encyclopedia. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and still looking like former president and still looking to be a presidential
He wants to be
candidate.
the next president. So all of this stuff has to go down in the history books. This is not like I said, you're not talking about me and you walking down the street, you know, doing DoorDash at night, working at schools in the morning. You know, we're not talking about people like us. We're talking about somebody that had the top job of the top country in the world. Now, that's everything that happens to him. They're here going forward. When he became the 45th president of the United States, all of this stuff is being documented as a historian for historian factors to be put into history, into the history books, into everything that's happening today about Donald Trump will be studied and proffered as educational tools for 20 years from now on what not to do, on what not to be, on who not to be, and then seek the presidency of this country. That's the stuff that's going to go in the history books. So that's why when people say they're not paying attention to this, I'm like, okay, why aren't you? This is our top news. You might not like him and you might not want, but you need to remember so this stuff doesn't have to repeat itself on us.
Donald been lying all his life.
All his life. And the thing about these three children that have to testify, two of them were current employees of the Trump organization. The only lucky part that had Ivanka is that she, started her own business ventures and had the opportunity to get out of her father's thumb, get out from under his thumb, and she left the Trump organization, right? But the only reason why she's being forced to testify now is because she has the experience of working under her father at the Trump organization. So she tried to get out of it, which is why she's now being last and relegated to November the 8th, the last one to testify. She tried to file suit to get out of it. The judge denied that claim, saying, because she was like, I don't have anything to do with the Trump organization anymore. I don't work there anymore, which would have been a good excuse if we were talking about now. We're talking about the history of the Trump organization.
Right. We're talking about them. And mind you, her business flopped just from having that association with her father. And under that whole Trump reign, her business flopped. But I did see something that was in the news recently about just her, like how you were saying, just being kind of disassociated a little bit from them now, and her actually like giving money or like to, different charities, something that Trump would never do. Give away money. But she seems to have a different type of heart, I want to say, and certainly a different look, because she is definitely the best looking one of the children.
I agree with you there. Just looking at this picture, all I can think of is duh.
Yes, I said them sons, honey. Ugh. The father.
Don't get me wrong. Donald Trump Jr., the firstborn, he's not a bad looking child. He just gives me arrogance. Always 100% on arrogance. That's what he gives me.
He's funny looking to me.
The one that's standing in the front of him, the first one to the left. Now he gives me duh. Like his IQ is 0.1.
And he looks the most like Donald, right?
He just gives me like he was, left too long. He came out feet first from the womb, and his head was stuck in the womb for a long period of time, and he lost oxygen, and the only thing he can say is duh.
Not a breech baby. He came out sideways. And he's been running all these sideways deals and shit with his father.
That's what it gives me. I don't even know what to say about them, though. But the question is will they perjure themselves?
I'm sure they have a task on their hands, because just thinking, them being his children and that being his dad, They would have the law, I guess.
I mean, they're being prepped. Of course, they're being prepped. They testify tomorrow, so they're probably doing mock trials. Hopefully, they're doing mock trials, because why would you get up on that stage and not have somebody ask you all the questions that they believe that the attorney general is going to ask, that the prosecution, not the well, yeah, the plaintiffs will ask. Like, they should be doing a mock setup on, with each of those people testifying, to see what they're going to say, and answer questions that they believe, ask questions that they believe that the plaintiffs are going to ask them when they're up on the stand.
Practicing how to lie and not how to say too much.
Well, that's what they call preparation, but I agree with you, practicing how to lie. Because I don't think I mean, but that's probably the setup, though, right? Because as far as Ivanka is concerned, she did not have a deposition done beforehand where they could ask these questions before this even came about, right? Where the others do, because they are current employees of the Trump organization, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric, they both were deposed, right? So they've already asked them questions in relation to the Trump organization. Now, Ivanka, on the other hand, she's not an employee of the Trump organization, so she was never deposed. These questions that
I'm guessing it's going to give a whole bunch. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. So these questions that the AG is going to be asking her will be the first time she's hearing them, and she will have to answer them on the stand without even being prepped for them, because she couldn't be prepped because there was no way for her to know that these questions were going to be asked.
Right. It's going to be given a whole bunch. I don't know. Certainly making sure. Come on now. I'm sure they are being prepared. They are in preparation as we speak. Still practicing what to say, how to catch certain words, how not to say too much. How to basically respond, how to say I plead the fifth without actually saying I plead the fifth.
That's what they're going to do. Exactly, that part.
Right.
I think it's going
to. But I agree with you, Monny. It should have definitely been televised. This is historic. This is something that needs to be shown to our nation. Like, this is a guy that.
Yeah, I mean, specifically to our nation, but to the world.
Yeah.
At the same time, because the world leaders need to see, even world leaders need to know who they could possibly be dealing with if he is reelected. They need to know this. I mean, not that they don't know already that we had an asshole for a president for 4 years, but at the same time,
and a sly guy, because even the presidents from different countries and stuff who I guess had some type of liking for Trump, they had their liking because I'm sure when they, got to engage or interact with him, they're like, oh, this guy crooked like me.
Exactly.
He crooked like me. Oh, you can do that? So
it's shocking.
And he kind of had and did develop relationships with presidents from different countries who have that MO, should I say, of not being the most, presidential, like how he is, like, get over.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about I can't remember his name right now, but he was the prime minister of the UK. Right. He was ousted though, so
right. He had a relationship.
His ousted was fast. That's why I wish we had that kind of I kind of wish we had that process here. I don't want it to be as severe as theirs, because sometimes some people just need a chance, and once you give them a chance, they can either succeed or fail. But I don't. Their system is you don't have the party support, you're out.
Right.
And I actually kind of like that, because it helps you prevent and gives the people more control over their government. Because the people have to then come back out and vote for a new prime minister every time that happens, which is, I like that. I don't think our country is capable of doing that. Let's be real.
Well, this is the president that wasn't even capable of turning it over, turning over that power. How our country has been ran.
if we did have a system like that, there would be no discussion on election interference and people trying to, get in the way. Because if that's the case, we can just shut up for a little bit. I mean, there would be no theft of an election, right? Because
Mhm.
you really don't have an argument to fight over. Seeing as though if you're not doing a good job for the people, we can get rid of you at any time.
Right. Bye bye.
You see what I'm saying? So that
Hmm.
would kind of cause for us to not have to worry about all of this fraud talk, this election fraud talk, because we can give you a chance. Whether you won, whether you stole the election or not, we can give you a chance. In 5 months, if you ain't doing right by us, we can get rid of you.
And that's just it, Monty. That's how I feel about Trump. Like, even, in our country, okay, even when he was elected here as the president, I wasn't too fond of him. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking to myself,
Well, I
okay,
was
he,
devastated. I can tell you
yeah,
that now. I was devastated because he was
you,
elected president on my birthday. I was devastated.
oh, you, that kind of like,
I was devastated.
not on
They
my
declared
funny
him the
family.
winner on my birthday at 10, I think it was like 10:40 something p.m. on my birthday. We was all at the radio station having a pizza party, waiting for them to say Hillary won, and it didn't go that way.
You, I was devastated. I
You
concur.
wouldn't believe how fast that radio show. I mean, we was broadcasting from 6:30 all the way to, I was like, he won. Okay, I'm over this. Let's go. The show is over. We're ending. Send the credits up. It was like as soon as they said he won, we shut down. Ain't no more broadcasting. I don't want to see this man. I'm not going to. No. Mm-mm. He's not
Oh my
parading across
goodness.
the radio's network.
Right. But his whole reign, like I was saying, like when he first got elected, of course, right, I was devastated. I wasn't too fond of him. But of course, the democracy of our country, how I was like, okay, he's the president, even though I never called him my president, because anytime people would bring him up, I'd be like, oh, you're president? I never
Oh.
really claimed him at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of that, like what you were saying. Okay, give him a chance. He's in there,
Let
he's
me
the
just
president.
say this real quick because we're running out of time too. We can continue to talk about him in a second, but let me
Dang.
just throw this. I want to throw this thing here real quick because something it just popped across my screen about University of Maryland Medical Center that the second pig heart transplant patient dies at University of Maryland Medical Center after showing signs of organ rejection.
Oh, getting a new heart,
Yeah, I'm going to
getting a
reopen
heart
this.
transplant.
It says Lawrence Fawcett, the 58-year-old who in September became the second person in history to receive a genetically modified pig heart transplant at the University of Maryland Medical Center, died Monday after starting to show signs of organ rejection. Fawcett, who was dying of heart disease when he received the transplant September 20th. Okay, so he was already going to pass away. I mean, this was experimental anyway. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but he knew there was a possibility of it.
Right. He was already basically in grave condition with
Yeah,
holding that, and he just was taking this chance to see
to see if it
if he
would be
could save his
successful.
life.
It says Mr. Fawcett's last wish was for us to make the most out of what we have learned from our experience, so others may be guaranteed a chance for a new heart when a human organ is unavailable. Yeah, I like that. It says oh, it was a lot of doctors. So he then told the team of doctors and nurses who gathered around him that he loved us and we will miss him tremendously. Oh,
Oh,
that goes to show that they got his doctors on, all his nurses got they actually made a relationship with this man because of this experiment.
right. And just probably the experience overall, because I'm sure he was a patient, being treated there for his heart before this procedure. But a pig heart, no, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But rest in peace. I guess when you're at your wits end, you'll try anything.
Well,
But
they do say about the organs of the pig is that their organs are the closest match to human organs that they have ever studied. Out of all the animals that they have studied in that fashion, the organ of a pig, the organs of a pig are the most and closest to, besides an ape, in the ape family, they're the closest to a match to a human.
Wow.
So I read the theory on this a long time ago about pig hearts, and because they already use other pieces of pigs when they're like grafting tissue to like close up veins and things like that, to do sutures, the internal sutures and things like that. They use those most of those things, those prosthetic parts come from pigs.
Mm.
So we're already doing it. And I can see where they were going, because the technology and the science was already being developed when they was using like cartilage and things like that. A lot of that stuff is when you get that BBL, they be using pig stuff to do the fill-ins and stuff like that.
Oh gosh. Shoot. And I guess that's the
Especially in the
creative
ass. The ass
for
is
me.
usually probably fat from somewhere else on your body, or fat from artificial fat.
Right. Well, I will never go on the knife again. I tried to get a little fat removed from my stomach, baby, and that's definitely botched.
All right, last thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz.
Mm.
I didn't even know they were dating.
Me either.
So apparently, after dating for 2 years, they got engaged. So congratulations to them. They're getting married after 2 years of dating. Apparently, they went public with their relationship in August of 2021.
Oh.
And I didn't even know it.
Mm. Well, this isn't a good picture of Shannon. Look, this is all I could get from this. But I did not.
This is the only picture I could find that was cute enough for them being together. Like,
Yes,
I
and
agree with
I
you.
always
I
thought
do not
Shannon was
like
cute, but not so much in this
not in
photo.
this picture. I don't get cute in this
But
picture, because I
not at
remember I
all.
used to think he was kind of racially ambiguous. I didn't know if he was black or white.
Right, right, because he kind of has that exotic look,
Right.
for a white man. I know he had some stronger features that you
Hmm.
wouldn't even really associate with a white man. But yeah,
And it was the way
congratulations. I had no
it was
clue.
his mannerisms back in the day when he first came out. His mannerisms was given very much. I'd be around a lot of black people.
I hang around black people.
When he was doing Step It Up, the movie was it Step It Up or Step Up or something like that, with his ex-wife, his now ex-wife. What was her name? Shoot. What's Channing Tatum? Damn. She's the prettiest woman I've ever seen in my life. As far as stars go, anyway.
But Zoe is very pretty. She's very pretty.
Jenna, what's her name? Jenna Dewan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his ex-wife. And that was when she was in the movie. They met in the movie together that they did together. What was that movie called? Gosh, I'm having a brain fart everywhere today. Oh my gosh, it was right there. What was the movie called? It was called Step Up.
Okay.
It was one of those like dance movies.
Okay.
And I think they have a baby together. They have 2 children together, if I'm not mistaken. Because she's our age, and she doesn't give, in her face, she doesn't give our age. I always thought she was like a younger girl, but she's actually our age, in her 40s, in her early 40s.
Is she white?
Jenna, yeah, she's white.
Oh, that's rare for a white woman.
I don't have a picture. Let me see if I can show it to you real
I was
quick.
ready to say that's rare for a white woman because they always give older.
Matter of fact, I'll show you her picture with them 2 together, because this is a good picture of both of them together. And then we have to go.
Oh no, it's always a fun time with you on here, Monty. I really appreciate you inviting me on
Oh,
to be a guest and discuss some of these topics. It's always a fun time. And of course, when you're having fun,
you always run out
it's
of time.
done. Yeah, it's done.
All right, let me see if I can get it up fast enough. Ooh, it takes so much time to do this, but I want to hurry and get it up. So you can see who we're talking about. Of course, the picture don't fit.
Always something. So they've been dating, you said, since what, 2021? And then they just recently got engaged?
Yeah. Within the past week, they got engaged. All right, so I found the picture that I'm gonna show you. It actually cut him out, but that's okay. I wanted to show you her anyway. It really wasn't about him. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. My whole screen can already fall. Look, I'm losing my voice.
Mine's is coming back slightly.
That's the ex-wife.
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous.
Right?
They have like a similar look.
Yes.
So he likes what he likes.
I love her. She played in the in one of my shows that used to come on. It got another canceled show, and I do believe it was on Lifetime. But it was like the remake or the television version of The Three Witches of Eastwick. But the original movie had Cher and Jack Nicholson, and they did a remake of it with her and two other ladies being the three witches and another character playing Jack Nicholson's character. And it was really good. I love that show. But it got canceled after I think it was like 2 seasons they did, but it got canceled. But it was really good. It was really good. But because that was one of my favorite movies from back in the day, The Three Witches of Eastwick, especially with that scene with the cherries, and they made that lady throw up all them damn cherry seeds.
Yes.
That was my favorite scene.
Let me look that up. I need to get me into a good movie on Halloween night.
Oh, The Three Witches of Eastwick. Yes, it would be a good movie.
That would be a good watch tonight, right?
Yes, indeed. All right, you guys. Thank you for listening. This has been Talk Lately. Thank you, Chastity. We will be back on here on Thursday, this Thursday at 7 p.m. for You Better Live with ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix.
Okay, you got it right.
Right here on Be Exposed Radio and Be Exposed Media. Thank you guys for listening. I'll be back next Tuesday with another whole new show with a whole new list of Talk Lately versus cases. Thanks a lot. Oh, why am I never prepared to leave?
It's given, don't go.